Okay, it is September 13th, 2023. This is our second try with going live for social hour. Oh, there we are. I see us. Rita, Marty, we did it.
Yay. Whoa. All right.
Oh man. All right. So we are live, guys, and
But
it
Alex,
is yeah,
it's not really September 13th today, is it?
it is September 13th, mid-September.
No, it's supposed to be June or July.
Well, I have to ask this, Rita, do you have your Halloween costume picked out yet?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's all, I know you're tight-lipped about these things.
Yes, I am.
I won't ask what, I know better.
You shall all get the grand reveal on October 31st, which I know you all wait for.
Okay. Marty, how about you? Are you a big dresser-upper?
I'm a stick in the mud. I don't have that gene to be creative. The best I can do is to put on earrings and lipstick. This is me dressed up.
No.
I
That's
don't know,
great.
Marty, you were flashing your 80s style in Denver, so I don't know about that, your disco mode.
Oh boy.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag.
Well, let's see who's with us, you guys. Let's see, anybody watching from our AAPC family, let us know where you're at. What's the weather like out there? I'm in Baltimore today, so a little bit far away, but it's kind of humid. There's a lot of rain last night. Rita, I know you're in Philly.
Yep.
And did you get that rain? Did you get a storm in your neck of the woods?
Oh, yes. For the past several days, we've had rain and, a couple major thunderstorms here. So it's a little cloudy today, probably where you're at too, Alex.
Yeah.
Supposed to cool down this week. So hopefully that'll work out because I'm a fall person. Although really I'm a winter baby, but I love the fall.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
too. It's kind of overcast here too. It's not quite as sunny as it was yesterday, at least right now.
Well, it's cooling off in the Salt Lake area, Marty.
Yep,
It's
it
felt
is.
good.
Yeah, it's been perfect weather. I just hope it lasts.
Yeah.
But they were talking about El Nino coming and it might be really, really wet this year. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some really good ski. Ski Utah, great place to come in the wintertime.
That's right. That's right. But do you ski, Marty?
No, I've been skiing before, but I had a really bad ski accident and I never got back on the horse. So, I live in Utah and I don't ski. I get that all the time. What's the matter with me? I don't know.
Well, Marty, maybe if we have some members come to town, we can all go sledding. Would you go sledding?
We've got a great Sugar House Park with a great hill.
Yes.
I would go.
Yeah, there you go.
Rita,
That'd be
that
fun.
would be fun. You should come so we can do that.
Love
That's
sledding.
really fun. And it's not going to kill us on that hill, maybe.
Yeah. Love sledding. I love snowshoeing too.
Oh yeah. Hey, we have some members chiming in. We got Kim Thrasher. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Kate Wagger, she says, I've missed the last couple because she didn't get the notifications. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. So I usually, just so everybody knows, I set up events on the AAPC Facebook page, the company page, not the group. So you usually can hit that you want to attend there. Anyways, so that's out there, but we're here every second and fourth Wednesdays at 11 Mountain Time. Let's see. And Michelle Moore from Michigan, low 60s out there. Now, we talked about Rita's secret Halloween costume. She's a planner. Let us know if you have any medical coding or industry related outfits up your sleeve. Maybe you can share and give everybody some ideas for how to have some fun in the office for the month. All right. Myra Simmons says hi to Marty and Rita. Melissa Price says hi. She's a new CPC student. I love that.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. I feel like I think Rita's been on some of these social hours where we have new students come on or commenting, and they make social hour even more fun. Just kind of helping people through. So, Melissa, let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're from, how long you've been studying for, and what questions do you have. Let's all see if we can help out Melissa. Kim Thrasher says she would love to go sledding. So we're going to make it happen. She's in Southern California.
Oh,
What was that, Marty?
I said, I smell a party.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's probably in the height of the cold. January would be the party
Yes.
time.
My birthday, Marty. I have to come. for my
Mine
birthday.
too, double part.
I know, we're the same week.
Kim's in Southern California where it's 71 and partly cloudy. So Kim, it's always 71 in Southern California, it seems.
Yeah.
Melissa Price says she's in Boise, so not far from us, Marty. She's been studying just a couple of weeks and she already feels like she's over her head. So that's perfectly normal, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. So my first thought to you, we'll come back and talk to you more, Melissa, but my first thought to you is if you're not a member of the AAPC Facebook group, hop in there, ask her a question. It's a great community, very helpful. But feel free to jot questions in here too. We have a few people we want to bring in. I'm going to bring them in right now. Alyssa Carr and Renee Dustman. Here they come. And
Hi, Renee.
Hello.
Renee Dustman.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Hi,
Alyssa.
I have to say something.
Yeah.
It'll make you laugh. If my lips look weird, it's because you kept me in the waiting room so long. I was playing with all the video filters. And then all of a sudden the video came on and I don't know if I left the lipstick on or not. But at least
nothing on.
I don't have the bunny ears anymore. So.
Yep. Well, Renee, we're glad to have on. We have Alyssa Carr on for the first time, everybody. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Alyssa Carr, can you hear me? Where you're from, what your specialty is, and how long have you been?
He's cutting out a little bit, but did you hear what he said? Tell us about yourself, where you're from, what your specialty is.
So I am from Salem, Oregon, and my specialty is speech and occupational therapy. I'm an office manager for a clinic here in Oregon. Have been for, this will actually be my 6th year. And a lot of it is trial and error, because when I came in, I had no knowledge about, and at the time it was just speech therapy. So I've learned a lot of things on the way and decided to step out of my comfort zone and share my knowledge with others.
Awesome.
Alyssa, can you hear me?
I do.
Okay. Alyssa, if you can hear me, and Marty or Renee, so anybody can help pick up on this question, but we have a student on here watching. What advice would you give to that new student, Alyssa?
Did you get that, Alyssa? Or maybe
No, I
she's
think
frozen.
she's frozen now.
She might be frozen. Uh-oh.
That's all right. Oh, here she comes. I got her on her iPhone.
Oh, okay.
There we
Here she
are.
comes.
Sorry about that. Are you guys
That's
able
all
to
right.
hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
My computer apparently decided to just shut off. So switching to my phone.
Perfect timing, right?
Yes, of course.
Hey, Alyssa, before we talk about your article in Healthcare Business Monthly this month, I'm curious. So we have a member in here, a new student, and they're kind of just starting their medical coding journey. Her name's Melissa Price from Boise, so not far from you. So what tip would you give?
Okay, so he's cutting out now. What tip would you give to her? She's just starting out. She's studying. She's been anxious about it, thinking she's in over her head. What would you say to her?
I would say, like, start off with breathing. Deep breaths. I know it's going to be very overwhelming, but just putting in that effort and taking it one topic at a time. I know it can seem kind of overwhelming at first with too much coming in at once, but just sit down, breathe, put your thoughts down on paper, and come up with a plan on what's going to work for you to be successful.
Awesome. I love it. Marty, thank you for being my backup.
You're freezing on us, Alex.
Uh-oh. Alyssa, tell us about your expertise as a speech therapy coach.
So as I mentioned, a lot of it is trial and error. There's not as many people out there that do as coding in our area, at least. And most of what I've learned has been from the American Speech and Hearing Association's website. It's a really good resource if there's anybody out there who is getting into speech therapy as well. But yeah, a lot of it, like I said, just trial and error. I'm actually not a certified coder myself. I did get my CPPM December of 21. As I felt that was going to be, with the way our clinic is growing, it was going to be the most beneficial for me to learn. But speech therapy coding has a lot narrower range of codes that tend to be used compared to some other specialties. Our clinic in particular is pretty diverse in areas that we target. For those who don't know about speech therapy, it's articulation and language, as well as traumatic brain injuries and feeding and swallowing and voice. And there's a lot of different subspecialties in speech therapy, which makes things really interesting for those who love to learn. I'm the kind of person, if I find some new information, I am all over researching that, trying to get as much information as I can to better serve our patients as well as our therapists.
Alyssa, usually when someone writes an article, they learn a lot themselves. I mean, it's really you're educating yourself. What did you learn most from writing your article in Healthcare Business Monthly? And just for those who are wondering, it's called 5 Questions to Ask when Verifying Speech Therapy Benefits.
What did I learn from writing the article? I had what I learned is that there's a lot of information that I was trying to put in there, that trying to pare it down to not have it be like a giant article. Trying to keep it simple, I think, was kind of hard. I think my final draft was like 3 or 4 pages before I sent it in. So kind of paring that down into the most important information, I think was the hardest for me.
Yeah, I think that's true for most people. I think that's what shies a lot of people away is, you think writing, it's such a vast, how am I, going to put all that information in an article? And the easiest way is to keep chipping away to get down to that nitty gritty main point and just focus on that one point that you want to get across and expand on that. It makes it much easier.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
choosing a topic too. I when I decided that I wanted to contribute something to Healthcare Business Monthly. It was like, if I could go back in time and talk to myself when I first joined the company that I'm with, what was probably the most important information that I would need to know to get started? And that's when it kind of hit me of like, well, verifying benefits and getting those claim denials, I didn't know all of the questions that I needed to ask for insurance verification. So finding out that not all insurances cover everything for speech therapy was kind of eye-opening as well. And so that's kind of how this article was born, is what would I have wanted to know when I was just starting out?
Can I
Awesome.
ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Going back, Alyssa, you said something that led me to believe that you took a leap of faith, that you didn't know anything about it. You kind of wanted to go in a different direction or something. Talk about that, because there might be people that are listening that are thinking, I'm not exactly happy where I am. I'm more interested in something else, or I want to do. Sometimes it's scary to go somewhere where you don't really know anything, but in the end, it's the best thing that you do. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh, so when I started in healthcare, I actually started in optical. So in 2010, I joined a company as an eyewear consultant and became really interested in the eyes. So I self-studied, became a certified optician, worked my way up to an office manager. And my first office manager job, I did not have any management experience. So it was, jumping from selling eyeglasses to working for an optometrist, helping her start her business, was a pretty big step for me. And after a few years, I kind of didn't feel like there was a lot more growth for me in terms of like knowledge, mostly. I felt like if I wanted to learn more about optical, I would probably want to go into like a clinical role, but wasn't looking forward to all the schooling that goes with becoming like an optometrist. And so I just kind of started putting some feelers out there and came across the job posting for the company that I'm with. And honestly, I almost did not apply. I thought about that posting for a few days and was like, well, I guess I don't know unless I try. And what's the worst they could say is no. And I don't like being told no. So I went ahead, put in my application. I got a call back to do an interview, and everything just really fell into place. Just demonstrated what I had learned in optical and how it translated into what I could offer the company here. And like I said, been here for almost 6 years, and it's the longest position I've ever been at in one company. So definitely a risk that has paid off well for me in terms.
That's a great story. Great example. Sometimes you just have to dip a toe in and try, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Alyssa, what's next for you in your career?
I am going to continue to help our company grow. When I started, it was just myself at the front desk and 3 speech therapists. And now I manage a staff of 6. We have 3 locations. We added occupational therapy a few years ago. And I'm just on this journey with the company and seeing where life takes me and how I can help people in my community.
I see that you have you mentioned this too, the Certified Physician Practice Manager, CPPM certification. Do you have any desire to follow that coding revenue cycle path a little more deeper?
I do. Yeah, I really would like to self-study and do more certifications through AAPC. I'm kind of more of a what skills can I improve on right now? What would help me in the future, and kind of making those plans. So for me, certified, the CPP or CPB is kind of the one I have my eye set on next. And yeah. But I kind of need like a little bit, because we're very overwhelmed in speech therapy with the demand and where we're at with staffing shortages. So
now, what led you to write this article? I mean, you talked about its evolution a little bit, but did you have an idea and then think maybe I want to write the article, or were you flipping through the magazine and then thought, hey, I have something to share? Or did you hear a call out from Renee?
So it came about when it comes to learning. Like I said, I like to learn things that are relevant to me, and I feel like there could be more information from AAPC on speech therapy and occupational therapy. And so as I was looking to see like what webinars and everything was offered, I was like, well, why don't I contribute something? Well, what do I want to contribute? Do I want to put together like a whole presentation and submit like one of the webinars? And so I was poking around the AAPC website and logged in to review the Healthcare Business Monthly myself. And that's kind of when it popped in my head of I could start small and I can write an article.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for sharing. That's great. And that kind of goes into Renee. She loves to come on and share, because Renee relies so much on our members' knowledge. Renee, would you share a little bit about how someone can share an article in HBM?
Yeah, just like Alyssa, I mean, just, if you have an interest in sharing something, there's so many different avenues that you can go in this field, and, we can use them all. It would be great to be able to have articles that focus on all the little intricacies of healthcare. So if you have an interest in writing, you can either contact me, or you can go ahead and get started and send in an article through our website portal, which Alex can put a link in there for you. And I would just say, like Alyssa, there's a lot of different reasons why you could write. I mean, it could be for personal gain, or it could just be because you see a need, a lack of information out there, and you have information to share, whatever your reason. And it could be coding. So I got a question today, actually. Does it have to be a coding article? Absolutely not. We cover a lot of different things. Even your journey into coding, like Alyssa's, is fascinating to people. People are always wondering how they can get into the business, and what different types of jobs. You don't have to be a coder. There's so many different avenues you could take. And what better place than Healthcare Business Monthly to learn about all that stuff.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Not to interrupt. Are you done, Renee?
I'm done.
You're well, I just listening to this makes me excited, because when you say what better place than Healthcare Business Monthly, and I'm thinking, and what better place than our local chapters, because we're always looking for great speakers. And it's so nice to have a variety, and it's so nice to have a new face and somebody that's excited about that's anxious to share. And so, gosh, I think
I was going to piggyback on that, Marty, because I actually took the words out of my mouth. I mean, so I work in oncology, which is another field that is kind of small. There's not only so many of us, right? But this is a perfect venue after you wrote your article to be a virtual speaker for our platform with local chapters, speaking at your own chapter as well. And then maybe even thinking about submitting for regionals, because that's how the trajectory is, right? This is a great topic. Not that many people speak on it, and I bet you'll get a full room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have done presentations for 2 chapters about speech therapy with one of our speech pathologists as well.
Awesome.
Really fun too.
Yeah. So think about regionals, and you can come see me in Philadelphia.
I've never flown on a plane, so first trip.
Wait, you're in Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can drive all the way across the country and get to Pennsylvania. Or maybe you might have fun on an airplane. You had to try it. It is kind of fun.
Yes, it is on my bucket list.
But we're going to have a great regional in just talking to Rita. That's going to be fun down in next year. So yeah,
Vegas.
we'll be there. We'll all be there.
Mhm.
Hey, Renee, I know you enjoyed Alyssa's article. Alyssa, Renee kind of turned me towards your article and said, hey, we need to have this, have her on AAPC Social Hour. Renee, what other articles jumped out at you? Do you have a, not to play favorites, but will you play favorites?
Uh-oh. Pressure.
Now
pressure.
you gotta make me think about what, well, obviously the one I wrote about all the new ICD-10 codes.
That's got to be up there. That's a big one.
How is it this year? Are there many updates? Is it as significant in 2024?
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously it hits certain areas, and the one thing that sticks out is, the population health, all the social determinants of health codes. They're always coming up with more and more. And I think it's very slow to take on, but there are more incentives these days. There's measures and stuff to, so you're getting credit for reporting those. And there's actually, I don't remember the particulars. You're going to have to read the magazine, but there is a code coming that will reimburse you for collecting the social determinant of health data. So there are incentives coming to do that. And it's just for, it's all data, that's the big thing. So hopefully it will lead us to, resolving these issues, especially the, all the insecurities, homelessness and everything.
To comment on that, Renee, I work in a population that is, low income or, uninsured. One of our locations is in that area. And, for years, just to track data on this, to just demonstrate, some of these social determinant issues that we look at, right? We look at those pockets that, patients go to for, they'll go to a corner store and get something, fattening to eat, and the obesity, rising every day in our areas, and just being able to track why that's happening, and, putting those food supplies in areas which are, organic or, healthy and so forth. So really being able to address this issue and, looking at the need for social workers in these areas, financial counselors, and so many other things that you can improve with data to say, this is what we're dealing with every day, and we need to supply services for this population, right? And it's growing every day in all our areas throughout the US. So I was very excited when they started to increase the social determinants, diagnoses and so forth, because we do utilize that. And that's how you actually see the population that you serve in your area as well, by tracking that.
Right.
That's very interesting. And that seems to me to just give the rest of the picture too.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, is to get the most accurate picture of the patient will produce the most accurate and best outcome, quality outcomes. So, yeah.
Well, Renee and Alyssa, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
You bet. We'll
Nice
talk to you
meeting
another
you.
time, Alyssa.
Okay, sounds good.
And Renee,
Yes.
I dropped a link to the submission form for article submissions. So it's in the comments for anybody interested, or if you even have a little, just an inkling of a idea, connect with Renee. She'd be happy to guide you through that.
Yeah.
Commenting on that as well. Renee is awesome. I've written a few articles over the years, and I always say they make you look good.
We try. Yeah.
Thanks, Renee. We'll see you later.
Reach out to me. Okay. Thank you.
See you, Renee.
Bye, Renee.
Bye, Marty. Bye, Rita.
This is so interesting. I mean, I've had these thoughts through the years. I'm not a certified person. I'm not a technical person. I'm on the administrative side of AAPC. Luckily, I get to work with the officers. But when I hear these stories and about how you know, all the interesting information people are learning and the changes that they're making in their lives, and they're taking these risks, and they do these go into a new profession and find out that they really flourish. It's really motivational, and it makes me think, oh, maybe I should have been certified or something. But I mean, I like working with the chapters, but I think these are great stories. I mean, makes you realize that you can do it. You can
Yes.
go for it. You can go for it.
But Marty, the chapters are the core of a lot of that, right? So, you know, I
Yes.
wouldn't be where I am today. And I consistently say that people are so tired of hearing that, you know, because of APC, you know, having that chapter support, being, you know, being
Yeah.
asked to speak at a chapter and then moving forward. So that's a key piece, that the people
Yeah.
that you meet in AAPC that support you and network you, push you to do other things as well. And to
Yeah.
think outside the box, which you normally wouldn't think you would be doing, and that's what you can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really true. It's, you know what, it's just, and I say I've got the best job at ABC because
Yeah.
these officers are just unbelievable. And when you see somebody like Alyssa that's talking about this, you know, people like that become officers. And Rita, everybody knows Rita everywhere you go. You know, that's because you give back. The chapters are just the best. We've got so much fun going on with the chapters. I don't know where you're going, Alex, but can I take a minute to give a plug? Plus, you look like you might be frozen, Alex. He's gone. There we are. Boom. You know what? We always have a great time at May because we have all this stuff that happens in May. Okay, so before COVID, we only had local chapters in person, and now we are so blessed to be able to have a lot of virtual chapter meetings, and people are meeting together all over the country, and that's really a blessing too. But once in a while, I do like to get back to the good old days when we were in person, and we really do that in May, and we're really going to do that again in October. And when Alex gets on here and he says it's September, what is it, 13th? Like September's halfway over. That's crazy. The time is going like this fast. So before we know, it's going to be October, like Halloween we're talking about. And like, that's another fun month to really get out to a local chapter meeting. I know you guys are doing something exciting. Rita, do you want to talk about what you're doing?
Well, yeah, so for May Mania, you know, we had a May Mania meeting, then we had our annual symposium, which, you know, we had some great speakers at, you know, our theme was Monopoly. So
That's great.
we do different themes when we do certain things for certain months. And so we're going to have our next in-person meeting actually on Saturday, which I will be presenting the elections PowerPoint to talk about officer roles and how important they are and why we need officers to, you know, keep and maintain our chapters intact. For October, that's when we'll roll out the voting. But you know, we like to do things like we're doing this at an ice cream shop. So it's our theme is come hear the scoop.
At an ice cream shop?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go.
For our election presentation. So it's come hear the scoop.
That's fun. Yeah.
Right. So we try to do a lot of different things, innovative, you know, with ideas. And a lot of us do share those ideas across our chapter officer page. But it is really important for members to understand why officers are, you know, required for chapters and what it's about, and some of the exciting things that come along with being an officer and how you actually grow in your role, in your career, by just putting that, you know, just being an officer in, you know, whatever position that you hold. And Marty, when we were in Denver and you reported out how many times I had been an officer, I was literally in shock because I really didn't realize I've been an officer that many times. But it's a wonderful experience. It opens many doors. And it also leads you to be, you know, if you want to be part of a board like I am, you know, the National Advisory Board or the Board of Directors, which I also served with Marty on as well. It's really important because you get a different perspective. You're giving back to your community. And it's really important that we give back, and we can give back in many ways, you know, speaking at local chapters, being a chapter officer, you know, having different kinds of funds and things that you can help within your own community, and our hardship fund, right? I always try to remind people how important it is for us to donate to the hardship fund because, and you know, we've helped so many people over the years with that fund. It's helped, you know, during disasters. I mean, we, you know, flew stuff to Puerto Rico and New Orleans and, you know,
Mhm.
so many other places, North Carolina, that had gotten affected over the years, and in California. So a lot of our chapters over the many, many years of having this fund, and also personal assistance for people that are struggling, you know, loss of job, can't pay their membership dues. Just so many stories over the years, and so many people that have come forward to a lot of us as officers and saying, you know, how thankful they were that they were able to have that resource. So just remember that anytime that any chapter asks for donations or having raffles, it's important that you participate, because we can only help our members with the funds that we have. And
Mhm.
sometimes there's a lot of people that need it. So just, you know, that's a lot of ways of getting back to the community. And I hope I can still get back till forever, but that is something that I will never forget, AAPC and what they did for me, and support wise and networking. So that's why I feel every one of us should get back.
I love that, Rita, and I want to say something piggybacking off what you said. It's a feel-good thing to give back to the community. And one of the things that we hear sometimes, because we're talking about elections are in October and we need to get new officers, and there have been people that are saying we're having a hard time getting officers, and there's a struggle. So one idea that I just want to plant into people's minds is that you don't have to know everything to be a
Right.
chapter officer. You don't even have to know everything to be a chapter president. You do have to have the heart of, I want to gather these people in, and I want to organize and get things together. But you have a group of people to help you with it. You don't need to know everything. That's why you have different officers. Sometimes people say, well, I can't be an officer because I am only a CPCA. That's not true. Sometimes people say, I haven't had a lot of experience. I just have one specialty. You can be an officer, you can be a president. You just need to be willing to get out and gather people together, use the resources that are at hand. And I think that's the biggest light switch that went on for me. You don't have to know everything. That's why we have good people around us, surrounding us.
I agree, Marty. I mean, sometimes there's a fear, right? Oh, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're all here to help, right? I always say past officers don't leave, they're always around, but there's also board members that
Yep.
can help as well. Any question, please, you know, reach out to us. There's the officer Facebook page, which thrives every single day with so many ideas and so much support for each other. So I do agree with you, Marty. Like, you don't have to be, you know, everything, right? Not one of us is
Right.
everything. And
Right.
I've been part of this community for a very long time, and I still don't know everything. Sometimes I'll email Marty and ask her a question, or, you know, I'll like one of the other officers, I'm like, is this in the chapter handbook? Because I can't find it. And that's really important, is to have that community that you could ask that question to.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to tie this into a new CPC looking for their first job. So I'm talking to you, Lovey Gabriel. She says, I have a question. Not a lot of employers want to hire a CPC without with any experience. What advice would you give to a new CPC trying to get their foot or begin their career in medical coding, but always fails to land a job? And piggybacking on what the both of you have said, if I were you, Lovey, I would reach out to my local chapter. I would probably nominate myself to be a secretary or treasurer, anything, and I would show these, because you would be working shoulder to shoulder with the coders who have connections and can see opportunities in your area. I would work with them, show them your work ethic, and build your reputation through that. Show them that you're eager to get your foot in the door. We can talk a lot more about that, but that just tying that into why serve. And I think medical coding is unique in that you have these opportunities outside of actual coding, where you can build your reputation with the community, with the coding community.
Love that. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's people at those meetings that have so much knowledge. They're happy to they're happy. You learn from people just by talking to them.
Yeah.
But if you were to talk to them one-on-one, they're happy to take you under their wing. That's just for sure.
And then it also lets you think outside the box, right? So starting out, sometimes you may not get that coding position, right? But it's about getting into an environment where you can learn, grow, and thrive, right? So think about an insurance specialist position. Think about a biller. Think about a call center, medical records. There's so many venues to be able, authorization specialists that you can get into, learn a lot about the specialty that you're going to work in and take that with you. So I've had a lot of CPCAs over the years that have become coders for the departments that I worked in. And it's really important that you think, sometimes to think that way, right? You have to think a little bit outside the box and kind of get an entry point in, and then accept any project that people ask you to do. So you learn. And I always say, if you learn something you didn't know, that put that on your resume, right? Hey, I've done project management, or, I was part of Six Sigma, workouts, right? People look at that. There are keywords that people look at.
Hey, I'm going to shift gears real quick, you guys. I'm sorry, and I apologize for the connectivity issues. I think I have it figured out. I switched to my phone. Being on the hotel network, no, not so great. Sharing it with a couple hundred other people, not so great. But I'm going to jump up to Michelle Manzano. I believe she is our friend from Puerto Rico. But she said we need Spanish conferences. She is from Puerto Rico. I'm just reading her comment. I have people from the U.S. connecting with San Juan, Puerto Rico, the San Juan, Puerto Rico chapter. So maybe breakout session. That's something that I'm going to kind of send this up the chain and talk to some people about that. And then Lady Martinez, hey lady, she says we need to have a social hour for Latinos. And I spoke with both of them about these opportunities at conferences recently. I think in Nashville's where I spent some time with them, and we will be revamping social hour in the new year. And part of that plan so far right now is to have some specialty type of broadcast or webcast. So one would be Latinos and have an all Spanish panel, just speaking in Spanish. I couldn't be there.
I was going to say, you're going to be there, Alex?
No. But I think that would be great. And then one other segment is nurses, and I'm sure there are many other segments like that we could break out. But just going through the comments, lots of excitement for HealthCon in Las Vegas. We talk so much about conference during social hours. I try not to bring it up every time. I don't want to be a constant sales pitch for HealthCon, but it really brings us together. We all look forward to it, and looking forward to Las Vegas in April. Let's see what other comments we have here, you guys. Okay.
While you're looking for those, Alex, I'm just going to say April's going to be here before you know it, because I'm still stuck on this that we're in the middle of September. April's going to be here fast.
Yes. All right. So Beverly Johnson.
Hi, Beverly.
She's out there just encouraging people to be an officer. She says being an officer is personally rewarding. Being able to serve the AAPC community, it is amazing, and it is so much fun. So many great people. Ladies pitching a GI. Oh, she has a presentation for GI. People, I guess, even beyond this social hour, like everybody's connecting in this social hour to help each other with the needs that they have, and that's awesome. I love that. So. But hey, real quick, Rita.
Yeah.
We spoke about this before we went live. You're on the National Advisory Board. Is this like the 10th time?
No, it's my second time on the National Advisory Board.
Okay.
And
But
Sometimes it's the officer thing, right?
I served on the board of directors, the bod with Marty. And then I've been an officer for my local chapter many times.
Well, you just love to serve and give to the
Yes.
community. I love that. But the NAB gets together at least once a year, and I know that happened. When I say get together, I mean in person. You guys are frequently having virtual meetings, but you had a board meeting just before our regional conference in Washington, D.C. What was that like? What came out of that? What can we see from the NAB going forward that you're
So,
allowed to talk about?
well, what I could say is that it was the meeting of the minds. So the great thing about our boards is that there's a lot of board members that have different backgrounds and also come from different areas. So we're able to look at things from our perspective and then join together for a mutual goal to support the AAPC and all their new endeavors for the new year and all the strategic goals that are set forth. We all are honest about what we feel priorities should be. We look at how we can help our members be able to accomplish different things. We're looking at the AAP supporting within the future. There's so many things happening with technology and so forth. So it's a wonderful experience to have discussions on, even when you look at strategic planning, right? What do we need to do to get to this end goal, right? And those pillars that, you establish, and how as a team are we able to support that growth, right? And that education that may be needed, or, how do we make people, make our members know that they have all the support out there as well. And we have several committees that are set up. We have, our membership committee, we have our exam committees, we have our career advancement committee that focus on different supportive measures for our members. And it's just a wonderful experience to be able to share your thoughts, thinking outside the box, but also connecting on a different level where you have a lot of the same ideas, maybe presented in a different way. But a lot of us come from that background that, we want to make this board strong, and we want to be able to be there for our members. And I always say I'm lucky because I've experienced both boards, and seeing what we do for local chapters and then for the individual members is united, right? We all have that, then it kind of merges in the middle and goes towards that strategic goal. But I'd have to say this is one of the best meetings that I've been part of on a board, because it was so new, so exciting with ideas, and everybody felt free to talk.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And what initiative are you most involved with, Rita?
Well, I am on the membership committee, so we are, looking at our goals for the new year, which we're discussing now, and that's, we have the new member orientation that was put forward from our committee, and that is actually be scheduled at the end of the month for members to attend and review a lot of different things from that perspective. And it's really about education for our members. It's really about, what are we about kind of thing. So I would say the membership from a membership perspective, like the survey, we redid the surveys that have gone out for, your opinion, that we hope that everybody fills out, because that's how we get answers and how we know what to move forward with, right? It's about that engagement perspective. So what's important to our members? So making sure that people fill out that survey. So we really, we support that piece as well. Supporting, from a social media aspect, how do we support, Alex and everyone else in social media being, interactive, answering questions, Facebook Live, and, kind of putting ourselves out there too. You can call us, you can, anything you need, we're out. So I think that from a membership perspective, you're going to see a lot of great stuff. And then the Career Advancement Committee, which has just been phenomenal, revamping Mentor City and putting more mentors into the program, putting themselves out there to say we're here to mentor any new member, anyone that needs to get into a coding fields and so many others by specialty. That has been a total revamp, and that committee has been phenomenal with that.
Awesome, awesome. Speaking of members, and our members' needs are worldwide, global at this point. And Crystal asks, how about a HealthCon in Dubai? And Crystal, we do have HealthCon International. It's a one-day virtual event that's coming up next month. I'll drop a link for you in the chat, or PM direct message that to you. But there's that out there. It's hard because our membership is so diverse, and you can't take one size does not fit all. And Rita, just as we were about to go live, we're talking about the speech pathology with Alyssa, and but your specialty is cancer.
Yep.
And but that's why we're here to help each other out on our journey. Do you have any thoughts, Marty?
Oh, I was just going to say, we do have a local chapter in Dubai.
Yep. And yeah, we like, I know there's been a lot of effort in Brazil with, they have a unique code set that we're helping them and supporting them with a unique custom certification to help in the Brazil area. And there's a lot going on everywhere as healthcare reform and changes happen across the globe.
And AI coming forward with so many different perspectives and so many, that looking at that and how we integrate that into, our culture, our community.
Yeah. Hey, there was someone here, I'm looking through the comments, that recently passed their exam. I just want to give them a shout out. Oh, Jamie King, she says, I'm excited to say I will get to turn in the paperwork to get my A removed. That's what she's talking about. That's a huge accomplishment. Yes, applause. I've been at my job for 2 years now. I worked so hard to be where I am now, and I love that. That is, it happens. I mean, we have so many members who come in looking to start a new career, and the doors open. So, Jamie, what encouragement would you give to lovely Gabriel, who is looking for her first job? What was that like? So if you just drop a little thought into the comments for lovely, and help her find that first job. Well, guys, we're almost to the end. I could not, I mean, it's always like this, but I could not have done this one without you guys. I appreciate you so much. Marty, last minute call up.
Anything for AAPC, Alex.
I say the same thing.
No, just I appreciate you guys so much, and everybody watching, thanks so much for spending an hour with us. Alyssa, her story is fascinating, and it's what I thought was especially interesting was that she's working as a practice manager.
Yeah,
she used AAPC to help her move forward there, not in coding, and now she sees the possibilities down that revenue cycle path.
And started out in an optometrist shop.
Yeah.
Thinking about going clinical, nonetheless.
Yeah. Got it all.
Yeah.
So many stories like that out there that is so interesting to hear how people, got to where they are today, and how AAPC kind of filtered in and helped people find their careers.
Yeah, that's a good story.
And just a final shout out for anybody watching that is searching for their first job. We have many videos on our YouTube channel. I am AAPC interviews. There's a playlist for I am AAPC. You can hear AAPC members, experienced coders talk about that journey to finding their first job. And then there's a new playlist, there's a new playlist called Starting Points that features those that found their first job within the first 6 months of being certified. Take a look at those because you'll see that no journey is alike, or very few are. Everybody has a unique story to tell.
Yeah. So true.
So, okay, Rita, Marty, hang on with me just for a second. Everybody, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for your patience. I hope my internet issues didn't affect everybody. I was glad to come back in, see Marty and Rita still going. I appreciate you guys.
I don't think we don't need you. We need you.
Oh, no, you guys are great. And we'll see everybody in just a few weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.